What's up, you guys? Today, we sit down with one of the hottest DJs in the Punjabi music game. From leaving his corporate job behind to pursuing his passion, he's become one of the hottest and, in my opinion, the best DJ in the game right now. He was the DJ for our wedding, and matter of fact, he should be the DJ at your wedding. It's the one, the only DJ Slamz. Pehla, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you taking the time to come out here in your busy schedule. Yeah. Man, let's get to it, man. You know, one thing I was thinking of earlier, I was like, bro, how did you get your name, DJ Slamz? Like, what's the story behind that?
It's weird, man. There's a history behind it. Like, there's a meaning. I don't try not to do anything with like a meaning. So my name is Amar, right?
Hanji.
So when I was in high school, like, go there, they don't know how to say Amar, right? They say Amar. Amar the They're like Amar. And then I made up a email when this is back when emails were starting to get popular. So my email was amartheslammer@hotmail.com, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, like I joined like a Pangra team, and I kept that email. And they just and when I was on a Pangra team, I was a Todli, right? I played Tod, right? So then like they just started calling me Slammer. And then I was, long story short, I was in the Tod game for a minute, and then when I got to the DJ time, I was like, dude, I need a DJ name. When I was like kind of like transitioning over.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't want to be someone that says like just DJ, and I was like, oh, I don't want to put my initials on it and be like every other DJ would be like DJ ASG. Or like just my first initial,
sure,
middle, and last. So then I was like, I need something that's unique, that's gonna be, like non-typical. And so I just took slam. First I was thinking like a slammer. I was like, I don't like that. Then I just cut the MMER off, and I was like, okay, slam sounds good. Then I just put a Z around it.
Yeah.
After I was like, okay, that sounds cool. Let's go with that.
So that was it, huh?
That's it.
And then stuck with it from then.
And that's it, yeah. And then and like I said, there was meaning behind it. It's not just like Uday Bernata, Yeah. So
let me ask you, bro. I know. I'll get straight into it. Like when I grew up, I had friends they would like make music and beats, early 2000s and stuff. But jehde parents si unhone ne kafi discourage kita. Like, what are you guys doing? Ki karde hain?
Yeah.
Like, how was that early in your career? Like, have you always been a DJ, or did you like how was that struggle? Like, did you go through that?
Yeah, man, it was tough. Like, I don't think kids nowadays will have to, because like say our kids, right?
Yeah.
Like with me, if my kid wanted to do it, I would be like, yeah, go ahead. And you guys probably same thing, right? Like,
sure.
If your son or your daughter was like, Dad, I want to DJ, you'd be like, okay, be more receptive to it, right? Like,
yeah.
With us, they were like, okay, my dad bought me my first like DJ system.
Okay.
And his intention was like, okay, he'll do it for a little bit and he'll get out of it.
Because
I was just like going to play like Tol, right?
Yeah.
Because I was a Tol first, like I said, and my cousin, he DJ'd.
Yeah.
So I would go with him, help him, like set up, and then
Yeah.
he'd DJ, I'd play Tol, and that was our thing, right? I never like was into DJing.
Okay.
And then it was like later on, like 10 years down the line from that, I got into it. I was like, okay, I'm kind of not over the Tol thing, but I think I reached where I wanted to reach with it.
Okay.
And I was like either ready to get out of this space,
yeah,
or like excel in something else. So then I was like kind of in this space where I was like, okay, what do I do now? At the whole time I'm working too.
How old were you at this point? Just so we can get a reference of like,
when I was in my early 20s, like when I started all this, right? I didn't get to like into the scene until I was around 19 or 20. Like it's late,
Doing Tol?
Just Tol, not DJing. I was well over 30 when I started DJing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm over 40 now.
I thought you were only like 30 right now, bro.
No. I'm over 40 now.
Oh, man, you got the young genes.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Probably because my dad's an athlete and he still looks really young. So, so we're doing the DJ thing, and I'm either debating, do I want to stay in it or go the professional life?
Yeah.
Around that time, I had a really bad corporate experience in my corporate job, right?
Okay.
And I was like, screw this. Like, I don't want this to happen again, because it really took a toll on me. Like, I think I still have PTSD from what happened to me in the corporate world to the day, right?
Can I ask you, like,
yeah, I was
like what happened, or where were you at?
Yeah, I was working at Wells Fargo.
Okay.
And they had this huge thing where they got like their higher ups got in trouble for like doing like corrupt stuff, like opening fake accounts for like deceased people, or forcing people into, like, they had a bad culture there.
Sure.
And for in my opinion, and I mean, obviously I didn't research it enough, but my settlement checks kind of tell me I'm right.
Okay.
Because it went to this huge class action lawsuit.
Yeah.
Where we actually got, like, a bunch of us that got laid out, got fired.
Yeah.
For no reason, got paid out. But basically what it was the culture there was so bad on sales that
Okay.
they were like, I guess, promoting us to do, or like encouraging us to do stuff that wasn't right.
Fraudulent stuff.
But they had to get rid of a whole branch pretty much to cover the higher ups.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
which later on, I mean, they got rocked. I don't know if you remember, like, I think it was 2015 or 16, they got rocked by senators it got to that level.
Sure.
So that's when we got the class action lawsuit going and all that. But basically, I was terminated from a career path that I wanted to, like, I was passionate about it. Like, I really enjoyed finance, banking, and all that. And then when that happened to me, it was just like on the spur of the moment too. Like, one day they're like, they call you in, hey, we're running an investigation. Looks like you're a part of this. I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm just doing what you guys taught me how to do.
Absolutely.
And I was like, this is the culture of the bank and every bank here. Like, it's not my fault. I mean, I'm just doing what you guys taught me to. And they're like, oh, now you're gone. And the whole.
So basically, you just got let go.
Bunch of us. Big group of us. We were friends. We were tight. And I was like, yo, if this is the corporate world, like, this is going to be me. Like, the rest of my life, if I want to go climb, like, a corporate ladder, it's going to beat me up, you know? Like,
you can basically get let go anytime.
I could work my ass off, and then tomorrow they'd be like, all right, dude, you out.
Yeah.
So it kind of, I mean, it still bugs me. I've kind of gotten over it, but, like, it's still there. Like, it stings. So that's all going on, and in the middle of this, I'm transitioning from one position to a different bank, and I end up going to a Lordy party my cousin had, and he had a DJ from Canada.
Okay.
And the way he DJ'd, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, he inspired me.
Yeah.
Right. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna push. I'm gonna kind of get going on this space. So I put in a lot of work, started learning, got taught by a few guys that I was like going to Dole with, right?
Yeah.
The DJs, they sat me down. One guy took me to his house and like kind of showed me how to use everything, and then I got going on it, man.
So were you actively like, yo, I'm gonna go and like build a career out of this? Was your mindset like after Wells Fargo and you got into the DJing?
So this is around 2013, 2014, where I want to say, I'm like, okay, I want to start taking this to the next level, right?
What is the next level?
You see what I can do. I was seeing like spots like from a business standpoint where I can see where other crews in my local area at that time.
Yeah.
I'm talking just NorCal. I wasn't like where I am now, going to a different country or state every weekend.
Yeah.
But I'm in this local area and I'm like, okay, I see where they're kind of like dropping the ball. Let me see if I can pick up the ball here.
Yeah.
And just take this to another level. And it worked.
So what were you seeing, if you don't mind me asking, like where you're like, man, you know, I feel like I could do this better, or like what was going on?
They had big crews.
Yeah.
And then they were promising like this one DJ would like be really good.
Yeah.
Okay, he's coming. And then they would kind of like, he wouldn't be there. He would send like a new guy.
Yeah.
He'd go to like a bigger
like
event.
a sub DJ.
Yeah. And then the quality difference wasn't there, right? And I was like, okay, that's kind of like, you know, and I was like, and I used like a lot of UK influence, like, or like at that time Canada, for the setups. Like, I went more towards the production aspect of it.
Okay.
Like, meaning your setup, like your screens, the lighting, the way I did the setups, I was really into that. And I just kind of changed that and really took that to another level, and I succeeded, right?
Yeah.
And then that's where I was, and at this same time, I'm still in a partnership. I wasn't just completely me.
Okay.
I wasn't even Slamz back then. I was still just like just helping my cousin DJ, and I
part
was
of the
actually
team?
getting good. Yeah. My main thing was still the production and the tool part of it, right? So we get to that point, and a few years later, my cousin, he his life moved on. He was getting married, and his fiance at the time was moving from Vancouver, so he had to move further away from where we were physically. So he got out of the business, and I just completely took it over.
Okay.
And then from there, I made my brand kind of, and I was like, okay, now I see how good I'm getting. I see what it takes, what the other top guys doing.
Yeah.
I could do it, and let's see if I can do it better.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah.
So no, I was just gonna ask. So it's like, when did your your brand like really take off? After like how long were you part of the team and kind of just doing the fill-in spot, right? When did you just like all of a sudden just start taking off, and what caused you to take off in the way that you did?
Oh man, I was at the time when I was building a brand. So after banking, I worked for Apple, and this was before work from home was a thing. Now it's pretty common, right? But
Yeah.
I got a job after banking in Apple, and it was a really good job. I was working from home.
Yeah.
And they would give us like little breaks in between, like to kind of refresh. And my refresh thing was to DJ. So I had my work booth here,
Yeah.
and then I had my DJ station here. And I was just like learning how to scratch, watching YouTube tutorials. Okay, in my 10-minute break, I'm gonna watch this guy and see how he does this.
Sure.
Or, you know, and just doing little stuff like that. And then I was on SoundCloud. SoundCloud really helped me.
Yeah.
Putting out mixtapes consistently.
Okay.
You know, which I still try to do.
Yeah.
And from there, it just kind of like, I don't know, Sonny's here. Sonny, what do you think? 2018, 2019 is kind of when we got the jump to that next level?
Yeah.
The mixes helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you said, the production, but just putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Making videos, IG.
Yeah. Social media really helped out with that.
Social media, yeah.
Yeah.
At that time, like, IG was really getting popping. Like, I feel like I was doing, like, a lot of that. I know you guys are active on social media. You
Sure.
see, like, one DJ mixing, like, one song with another.
Yeah.
Now a lot.
Yeah.
But I was on that hype 4 years ago.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I was doing that before everybody's doing it now.
Well,
you know?
I'm gonna touch up on that. Like, so when I grew up, or what I saw or what I thought like DJ was, it was like even like our parents, right? Like even when we went through our wedding, you were there, you were at all our events, and I was like blown away by like what you were doing, because what I see, and I still see this a lot, DJ ondaya, right? Gaane londaya, and then he just hits the next song.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is still common. I mean, I've seen some DJs still doing it, so it's like, and then I saw you and what you did, and I was like, bro,
Yeah.
this is like next level DJ, so like what can you touch up on that? Is
I
like,
mean, honestly, like every DJ when I went to attend a party, like whether it be my family or friend circle,
Yeah.
it's always someone we know and they're really good.
Yeah.
So I can't say I've seen someone go from one song to another song.
Sure.
I haven't been to a party where I've seen that in a long time.
Yeah.
I think like Sonny has, my friend has.
Yeah.
So like, and they've come back and told me, but I personally haven't experienced it.
Sure.
I hope that doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, but I just, I mean, I couldn't imagine. Everybody I've seen, everybody I see on social media, everybody seems very good and into it, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's a DJ that you look up to, man, that you get inspiration from?
Shoot, Indian level, Gora level, or any level?
Any level, man. I mean, let's talk, let's say Punjabi community first. Like, is there a DJ that you admire?
Well, there's a DJ, the DJ I was telling you about that I got, like, really inspired me. His name is Convict.
Yeah.
He's from, I think he's from Surrey.
Surrey?
And so he was the one that was actually flown into my, like nephew's Lordy.
Okay.
And I seen him and I was like, whoa, like this guy, and very heavily inspired me, like to do the things he was doing that night I hadn't heard before.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't exposed enough to it. I was in a small area.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is cool. Like,
Okay.
and he was just mixing hip hop samples a lot, like I do now, and just really coolly blending stuff up. And I was like, this guy's a vibe.
Okay.
Like, and so him, I have another friend from England, DJ Dips. He's
Dips.
a close friend of mine, and he's really good.
Apna Punjabi?
Yeah, Punjabi. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Punjabi. He's massive producer too. He got like Gary Sandhu's tracks with Gary Sandhu, Miss Pooja. So he's one of the guys I look up to, and he's like my brother now. Like we're like super close.
Yeah.
And then my main inspo obviously is Punjabi music, Jazzy B.
Jazzy B.
Jazzy B's.
Yeah.
Luckily, I call him my friend now, like personal friend. But I mean, without him, I probably wouldn't have discovered Punjabi music. Yeah, I would have been just straight a hip hop head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm it's safe to assume that you just DJ now. There's no like extra corporate job on the side, nothing like that. This is your career. You're invested.
Yeah, I'm invested. And I believe like dudes ask me all the time, like, what should we do? And the first thing I ask them is, are you doing something else on the side?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're doing this as a side,
Yeah.
it's gonna stay a side. It's never gonna be a main.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the appetizer. It's not gonna be the main course.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you wanna, there's a way to treat it as a main.
Okay.
And that's what's gonna make you main level status. But like
Yeah.
if you're doing, example, if you're DJing and on during the week you're running a pizza shop or something. Not there's anything wrong with that.
Sure.
But you and me both probably know that running a pizza shop ain't easy.
Yeah.
That's gonna take all your energy and your time, right?
Yeah.
And so how are you gonna have time
To do
for
this.
this, right? There's
Yeah.
only certain hours a day, especially then if you got fam or if you're trying to keep your fit in check. I know you're into fitness and stuff, right?
I try to.
Yeah, so like that takes time, right? So
Yeah.
like it's not gonna happen that way, And then I feel like there's a lot of guys trying to do a lot. Like I remember like when during COVID hit, every DJ turned into a realtor.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know. You guys are both into real estate.
Is that a cap on me because I'm a realtor?
No, not at all. No, not at all. Not at all. No. But I remember I was like, yo, this is
DJ
cool.
Mr. Real Estate.
No, I mean, I was like, yo, like these guys are all turning into real estate guys. And I'm like, what is going on? Like it's a year off. Use it to practice. Use it to bang out mixes or I learned. I went to music production school during COVID.
Oh wow!
You know what I mean? So I don't know. That was just like, it goes back to what you say. Like, how do you keep it your main? Or you have to. I think anything, even it's not just DJing.
Sure.
Say if I was gonna do like something else for a living, and I was really serious about it, passionate about it, you're gonna make that your main. It's gonna give you the main result back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, I don't know too much about the Punjabi entertainment industry, right? So when you were like going on this path, you got let go at Wells Fargo, you're trying to figure it out. You're playing these side roles with the team, doing the toll, and you got inspired by the DJ. Like, what were your parents saying, man? Like, there's got to be in our communities like, were you making money?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean,
like,
I was.
Was it like getting you by type of money, or is like, man, I'm just kind of like.
No, it was good. Like when I was going, and like, obviously our parents, like I think me and Sonny talk about this all the time. I think our parents, to some level, for a certain amount of time, still thought we were just going out here doing this stuff for free. They don't know, right? Like they take it. They're old school, right? Like I mean, you guys' parents. I've met both you guys' parents. They're younger than mine,
sure.
Right? But my parents think of 2 gens older than you guys' parents, right?
Yeah.
So like. They don't understand this stuff. Like, they don't get why. For a while, they didn't get why is someone flying you out there? Like, what's so special about you compared to like another DJ? Like, how are they finding out about you? Like, are you just going out there? Like, do you have like this? Like, and I'm like, no. And I'm like, luckily I have 4 sisters, older sisters. They understand. I think they talk them, okay. And then my dad kind of always got it, and I think it's still it's still an issue with my mom. She's just kind of had to accept it, but like she's old school, like. But I think for them, when they got like when they were like okay like he's done something, is like when that generation is always like inspired by other people, like Restadar or Pendale, but he's doing good. Yeah,
right. Did you get any of that?
Yeah,
like DJ karda
and he's here, he's there.
Yeah,
that's when I think they were like, okay, I got the validation.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Like it's cool. He's doing something right. And my parents always tell me like, dude, like for you growing up compared to like other things, like you never gave us much stress. Like I was always like, and my parents never really were like. You can only go out to a certain time, or you can't go out. Like me and Sonny been hanging out, going out somewhere every weekend for the last 20 years. And no one's really stopped us, right? So our parents are understanding in that aspect. But when I just quit my job, like my main job, and I was like, okay, I'm just doing this. That was hard for them. I know it was, and they expressed it, but I know they expressed it like more amongst themselves and maybe with my sisters, my siblings, because anyone that. Like the way they came up, like they're the whole $7 in my pocket. Come to American story, right? Yeah. Like so many great people do. I think it was definitely, and I did get it. And I remember when I first picked up the tool, my master was like, my cousin were learning, and he was like, imrasiya da kaam hunda hai, jatta de munde da kaam nahi hunda.
Yeah, toll bajana.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like. And then I remember like a few years later when I was doing good, he was like, you should take, I'm sorry, kind of like in an indirect way, I'm sorry. Yeah. Take your cousin, he kind of got out of it. Take him back in it so he stays along the right path. Yeah. So that was kind of like, it take time and validity.
How'd that make you feel, man? Like when, like.
In the beginning, I was like, whoa, because like my parents never emphasized the caste system. Never did. Like, or anything like. This person, they said in America, you work. Like when I was 14, I worked at a car wash, bro, like washing cars. Right? Like, and my parents didn't want me to do it. Yeah. But I think they knew then, okay, like he has some kind of grit in him. Okay. But they never were like, my dad always prays, you got to work hard. It doesn't matter. We ain't made of money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like some people are. Yeah. And we got to work for what we got, and that's how it's going to be. Okay. So like that part of the industry, and I think that helped. Yeah.
So it sounded like, but you said your master, he eventually, once the once he saw how successful you were getting, he kind of came around and indirectly said, you know, it's kind of like.
Yeah, you know, so this is early 2000s. Now, like you see, like I feel like if the world was like how it is now, like with social media and Facebook, like they see our aunts and uncles, they see this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a different level of validity to this industry than there was 20 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
So like now they see it like, okay, shoot, he's there, okay, he's doing good things.
Like he's doing something.
But back then there was no platform to show like, oh, big, you know what I mean? Like, and the whole time I'm in college.
Yeah.
Like my school, like when I was in school, most thing that got me through was me playing dole.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I didn't have to go, hey mom, I need this. This is my job or my dole playing. Like,
so it kind of supplemented. You know, your lifestyle or your whatever your expenses were at the time?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have to do like, I always worked jobs.
Yeah.
Like my main like focus was like, okay, the tool, right? And I did well. I mean, for that time, for the situation it was at that time, I was good.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it. That's the best part of it. I was happy. Like, I was the happiest guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say there's just the first time I met you, there's a lot of passion behind what you do, you know. I said, I've been to different events, receptions, juggles, and you see DJs like koi energy henny, right?
Yeah.
Like you're always excited. There's always good energy flowing from you, right? You get the crowd into it.
Yeah.
And I know you touched up like on social and validity, right? Our parents or cousins, mummy, masi, jo bhi ho dekhde hai, oh aa kam karda, ਇੱਥੇ fly kita, you're going to Edmonton tomorrow, you're here in Seattle today, next day you'll be wherever, you know, I see your schedule, you're all over the place. Talking with like social and like creators, man, I know we touched up on this a little bit, right? Is like, what do you feel of the social game right now?
Like social media?
Yeah, like with people and like, and what they're doing and kind of, you know, the whole, I think everything is just content creation, right? We're in that space too.
Well, I think it's definitely important. You need it. Like in my game, you need it. I think in your game, in the real estate game, with the evolution of like, if I want to buy a house, I don't want to go to the uncle, auntie. I want to come to someone like you.
Sure.
You know, because I'm going to be like, I can relate with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mess with you like on a personal level before a business level.
Yeah.
And I think with you guys, like on a social media aspect, you do really good. And I was like, okay, I mess with this guy.
Yeah.
For me being like a creator by myself, I look at someone like you and I see your content, I see passion.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I mean, right now you're doing a podcast on a Saturday. You know, you could be doing 150 million different things, you know?
Yeah.
And you got your family helping you. I mean, that's passion, right?
Absolutely.
Same thing with me. Like, I get to travel with my best friend.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's important. But, like, the social media part of it, it's definitely a necessity.
Yeah.
But I think it's like, social media is kind of like quality of life, right? Like, you have, like, good days and bad days. If you do too much of one thing, it could be bad.
What do you mean by that?
So, like, say I just keep posting like 3, 4, 5 times a day. Like, not stories, but, like, let's say reels or picture posts. I'm just, like, always posting. Like, it's going to lose its value.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I think there's a scheduled way to do it.
Sure.
Right? Like, but it's also, like, trends. Like you have, like, a cool little marketing moniker going yourself. But, like, with DJs, like, I feel like it gets repetitive. Like, someone does something and the other guy has to do it. Like, I feel like content's there, you need it. But how can you have, to me, it's always the different content.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's going to post, like, a mix now. Or everybody's going to post, like, you know, a lot of DJs go, like, oh, we're here for blah, blah, blah's wedding. This is what's going to be like. Let's go, stay tuned. And then it's the same thing. The first guy who did that, or the first 2, 3 guys, okay, that was cool. But then, like, everybody jumps on it.
Gets
and
repetitive.
To me, I'm always thinking, like, okay, most of my people are probably going to watch theirs. How can I flip the script and be like one higher or like not even higher, just different? Just like a little more creative, add a little twist to it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I think you do good with that. Like, I mean, Mr. Real Estate's really cool. You know what I mean? And so like you get it. Like, that's why I think it's a content heavy world right now. Like, I remember like 5, 6 years ago, I used to just post because I wanted to.
Absolutely.
And now it's like, if I don't, and now sometimes like 5, 6 days will go by and be like, I didn't post any content. But then at the same time, like, I'm okay with that. Because like, I feel like it should be natural. It shouldn't just be like content.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I get that, especially we took a year off of social, after I got married, took some time off, and I got back on, and then I realized everything's just changed, right? Back then, a few years ago, it was just posting pictures and just showing, and now it's like a few days go by, you're like, damn man, I gotta post something. I gotta post it. I gotta get a reel out there. Like we gotta do something different. Yeah, and it kind of gets you in that loop. But at the end of the day, at least for us, is like I still got to go do my actual business too. Yeah. I mean, that's the bread and butter. Yeah. Right. So I see a lot of, maybe I meant to say this, is like I see a lot of people just posting content to post content, but it's like, where, like, what are you actually doing to, not you, but like, it's just like, what are they really doing to actually continue in their career or their path, right?
Yeah. I wish people would like even in our space would actually work on the ABC, the fundamentals, the meat and potatoes, like on what we do compared to just worry about what's content. Yeah, you know what I mean, like I still practice. I practice DJing probably more than most new DJs. Yeah, and that shouldn't be happening. Sure, you know what I mean? Like I practice like sometimes hour a day, half hour a day, whatever I get. Like I'm there. Okay, because that's fundamentally you have to do it, right? Yeah, but like I feel like some guys are just worried about content. Like I'm gonna post this.
Yeah, man. I feel like if you're posting content but you're not getting any gigs, like what's the point of the
that's
point
the thing.
That, right?
That's another bad thing because if you're a DJ and it's so easy to get gigs like where I am these days. I don't know about here, but like you can go to a hall owner, like they see Uncle Hall owner and be like, "I'm a DJ, and I'll do it for cheaper than the guy you're giving your in-house events to." Yeah, bam, that guy's on.
Well, let me touch up on that, bro. How is your industry? Like, tell me about like the DJ industry. I know in the real estate business, I personally have a different perspective on it, right? But the most agents that I meet, they're always thinking that, oh, if he's a realtor, he's my competition. He's my competition. Yeah. And it's like, for me, bro, I always when I started, I always was like, I am my own competition. I got to just be better. I never try to compare because once I started comparing, I started feeling like I always had it. There's always going to be someone better. Right. So how's that, like the competitive edge? Is it, are you guys all friends? And then, or is it like, shit, how's he getting these gigs? Like, what's the scene in the back, the things that like we don't see?
It's weird, man. That's a really good question, but I can't give you an answer because it's so bizarre. Is it like I know DJs like who hate me, who that have come out and said, oh, like that we've heard through the grapevine, like, oh, this guy said this, and I'm like, yo, why? You don't know me as a person. Like, what are you hating me for, right? Like I remember there's one. I mean, I'm not gonna name any names. There's one pretty popular DJ. One night, he's a week before this phone call I get from him. He's just like dapping me up, and he came to a fundraiser I had. And a week later, he called me and he's like, yo, I heard you talking smack. I'm like, yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. And we barely brush shoulders. Like, the crazy thing is in Cali, like, well, I'm from Cali, right? So in Cali, like, the DJs there, like, we barely run into each other.
Cali's so big.
Yeah,
there's so many.
We're all cool, but, like, there's always, like, little, like, I feel like there's a little tension always, for no reason. Yeah. Everybody's busy. Like, there's, like you guys here, like, you guys have a lot of little cities, right? Yeah. Like, and then you guys have a lot of little events going on, like, on a Saturday night, like tonight. Yeah. And there's probably a need for what 10, 12 DJs probably? Sure. You could only be one place at one time, so why are you going to hate the other guy? Right? Yeah. You can't. I mean, what's the reason? Absolutely. Right? Okay, so I remember I had like a DJ message me before. He's like, yo, this other guy's saying this, like, you're getting X amount of gigs out of state, out of country. I'm like, okay, well, ask homeboy, is he on SoundCloud? Yeah. No, he doesn't do any SoundCloud, which is okay. Like, I mean, is he doing any content? Like, does he have any unique content? Like, is he on social media? Yeah. No, he got a private Instagram. Yeah. So, like, it goes hand in hand. Like, sure. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying I'm the worst. I'm saying I'm getting flown out to a different state or country because I deserve it. Because I put the work in. You're putting the work in, man. And, but, like, that's it's weird. It's really weird niche, like a really weird thing going on, and I'm friends with so many international DJs. Yeah, you know what I mean, like guys who live in England or like live out of state. Like there's Rocky here. I'm really good friends with Rocky. You guys know Rocky, right? Yeah. Rocky's DJ in Seattle. Me and him work hand to hand. You know what I mean? Like me and him, he's one of my closest friends, and we have nothing like that. We'll help each other out. Absolutely. Sometimes I'll be like, Rocky, I need an extra guy. Go with me to events. Can you go? I'll go with you, bro. I mean, me and him are close friends, and like, but I don't have that with anybody like local in Cali.
Yeah.
Like I don't have that relationship.
Do you guys just all see each other? I mean, not you, but like, do you feel like they just see you as like competition, bro?
You know, I don't know. I would love to get the answer myself.
Hey, tell them to come on the podcast.
No, because like I know who. Maybe one person out there who puts out like the constant like SoundCloud stuff.
Yeah.
Like I do, but I don't really see anybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then that kind of makes a difference, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the level of consistency. I don't know. It's just something, right? Maybe it's people. A lot of the stuff still is word of mouth. So like someone goes to like say when I did you guys reception, someone sees me there, they're gonna be like either he was bad or he was good. And the good person might see me and they'll be like, oh, he was good, and they're from Texas.
Everyone was impressed with you, man.
So they're gonna fly me out, then they're gonna be like, okay, it's cool, right? Like, So I don't know. I don't know what it is, and I wish I could answer that better, but I don't know what's going on with DJ Beef, man.
Yeah. So are you? I know you mentioned this with maybe some DJs, like you said, right? There's a hall, and you go to the uncle and like, "Kanji, main DJ kar dunga, sab to sasta."
Yeah.
Like, do you work with like halls specifically, or are you kind of like solo out there?
No, not at this point. That wouldn't be smart. I think I think for anybody, like unless you're okay with just doing the bare level minimum, and you're gonna get the
paid
bare level minimal clients that are gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't do that. I'll go to like, I don't have any problems with any venues, but I'm not going to be the in-house guy that's recommended. No, because it doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't make sense for the guy who owns the hall, right? Because he's gonna make an X amount on top. But if someone's already price points higher, then they're gonna be like, oh no, you know what I mean? So
how is a couple things actually? How is the pricing game? Is there a lot of competitive as far as DJs just cut prices? Like I'll do it cheaper. Is it?
I don't know. Like I have like mine, and I compare mine to, like, honestly, I took like the popularest guy in Canada, popularest guy in America, and I got their price sheets. And I was like, okay, I put enough. I looked at him and I said, hey, okay, I have more following, or we have about the same following. And he puts out X amount of content, or do I put out more, or do I put out less? Or what is it, right? And I looked at him and I said, okay, I should be here. Because that's who I thought it'd be equivalent to, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I thought. I mean, I couldn't think of other way. To put my price point, right? So And
I think it's and I'll tell you, bro. I think you're well deserved, right? Whatever you're getting paid. Because I remember originally, because obviously, right, getting married, and we're looking at this. I'm like, damn. I thought DJs would be like $500 or something, right? Because I grew up with that mentality.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
But then I looked at it. And I was hesitant at first, and we decided it was like, you know what, we're gonna do it. But then your performance, it's a certain level. It opened my eyes up and my perspective. I was like, bro, you're in the service industry too. Right. I'm in the service industry, and obviously there's a set price that we charge, right? So when I saw that initial, I was like, okay. But when you delivered the service, I was like, dude, you deserved every single penny of that.
No, thank you. Well, it's like, I don't, like, even you don't set your pricing, right? Like the market kind of
the market, right? There you go. And
some people are kind of sticker shocked, like, oh, whoa, They're like, whoa on us, but then they're down for a Sabyasachi suit, right? Like, I mean, it's like, okay, like, I get it, I get it, okay, but like, like, it's not us, like I said, I got like the pricing for the main guys, that who I thought I was equivalent to, and I just set it to that, I mean, I feel like it's probably a little higher, but I looked at everything, like I told you guys, like content, how much they're putting out, SoundCloud, what you're getting, right? So, you know what I mean? It just that's kind of how it went.
Okay. And I know you mentioned something actually stuck with me. You said something about like I didn't have any like problems. It kind of rung a bell. Like, bro, how is that? Like, have you ever had like the drunk uncle just come up to you? Like, you've had any beef going down?
It's a part of the game. It's a part of the game. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. We just try to do our best to avoid it, because at the end of the day, we can only take so much.
Have you ever had any altercations with any drunk people?
Oh yeah.
What's a crazy one maybe you might remember that just sticks with you, like where you're like, man, that was just one to remember or something? You got a story for us?
Man, we probably have too many stories. I remember like, dude, there's just so many. It just kind of becomes repetitive, because these people, it's crazy. You would think they'll be like clones of each other, but they don't know each other, because they all act the same. In this situation of harassing a DJ, these all act the same. And it's usually not like be honest with you, is like people like us.
Yeah.
It's usually like an older gen or someone
Yeah.
who's kind of fresher that
Yeah.
still thinks like this India. Like you probably get in real estate. Like I don't know if you have Desi clients or not,
Yeah.
but like them would be like, "Chal sasta kar, they do
Yeah.
it my way. They got. You know,
Hanji,
like,
hanji.
and it's to us, they're like, hey, no one wants this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And you look and it's like a packed dance floor, and you're like, come
Yeah.
on, bro, like chill, you know, like.
Yeah.
So we try to get creative on ways to like combat that.
Yeah.
But we get it. I mean, every DJ will have a story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, the craziest thing I can think that happened to us one time is, this is like right when I was getting started, someone threw a beer at us.
Yeah.
It was aimed at me. It got on my friend.
Yeah.
But like throwing a beer is like a little wild, right?
Yeah.
And there's always times where guys want to like fight or something like that. But there's always someone like calms it, or
Yeah.
like we just have to say, yo, the party's done, and like it's on you, man. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna ruin it. Everybody knows 2024. Like the generations, they know, like, dude, don't do that. Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like don't harass and ruin a party just because you're not getting your way.
Absolutely. I think, like you said, it's there's a gap between some of the older generation that
Yeah.
may feel that, oh man, they're DJ,
Yeah.
right? They just think as a DJ, but you know, at the end of the day, like us, the younger generation, like, hey, bro, like this is our guest.
Yeah.
You know, like we want to treat him with respect and like take care of him too, right?
Yeah.
He's a guest at our reception, like
Yeah.
he's performing
Yeah.
his gig.
Yeah.
So it's a little gap between
Yeah.
the generations.
It's like a happy medium. Like I get it. Like you got to like you got if it's a good request, you play it. No, and then it's usually with the request. But then sometimes the ones that are out of left field, you're like, bro,
Yeah.
it's got to ruin my dance floor.
Yeah.
The 4 or 5 people here that might be like a future like lead or contract, or
Yeah.
like a contact, like
Yeah.
a future event. They're gonna be like, bro, what is this guy doing?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like you got to think of all aspects of it. But like, and then like now you got to keep like a certain rep. Like
Yeah.
you got to keep like a brand, and you got to deal with people not liking you and liking you. And that's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah,
right?
simple
so
as
there's
that.
gonna be, you could have a party of like 1,000 people,
Yeah.
and maybe 800 say you're good, and 200 be like, eh, use whatever.
Yeah, you can never please everyone,
Never,
right? Like
never.
they say, right?
Probably same
So-
with you, right?
Oh man, I mean,
Yeah.
I always look at it in the way of it's I don't know if it's a bad example. It's like the president, right?
Yeah.
Not the current president, but the president, whoever it may be. You only need 51% of the people to like you to
Yeah.
win presidency,
Yeah,
right? So that's
Yeah.
49 people
Yeah.
out of the 100 that
100.
don't like you.
Yeah, they're-
So I always look at my business and my interactions like that. You know,
Yeah.
of course I want to be able to
please everyone.
Yeah, but that's I think a natural tendency. But I've just kind of leaned off of it and just taken that emotional detachment. Just like, hey
Yeah.
man, I'm not gonna make everyone happy, and not everyone's my cup of tea either,
Yeah,
bro. I want to work
exactly.
with people that want to work with me.
Yeah, 100%.
right, because it makes it fun.
Yeah.
You get to be yourself.
Yep.
And both parties are happy at the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you couldn't say it any better, bro. It
So-
works the same way as us.
Yeah.
Just how you just broke it down.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
So, what do you do outside of the DJ world, bro?
Oh man, I travel. I love traveling. I love
Yeah.
hanging out with friends, family.
Yeah.
Just that kind of stuff. I love to stay active. Basketball, working out, doing all kinds of different workouts.
So traveling all the time, I know, of course, with your business, right? And I didn't know until recently, until we had a couple conversations, that you were a father,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
like, how do you balance that with your work schedule, and how does that look like?
I mean, it's tough, but like, you do it. You got to do what you got to do, and it could be that, or I could be the way I am. I know, like, if I was working like a 9 to 5,
Yeah.
say I was still in banking or whatnot, like whatever the way I am and the way I'm passionate about things, the way I work, like I would be so obsessed with that job
Yeah.
that it would probably keep me gone anyway, because I'd be probably high up.
Sure. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
going here, there.
Yeah.
We need you here. You need to go talk to these people. Like, it would still drown my time. So either way,
Yeah.
like, I would have been effed. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like, on that aspect of
Absolutely.
it. And this is actually something I enjoy. You know what I mean? So, like, my goal was when my son was born to when he turned 5, like, I was gonna quit a job and go back when he's 5. Well, he's 5 now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go back to work. and I don't think I have to, not yet at least. But if the time ever comes, yeah, then I'd have to. But it's the balancing thing is, I mean, I just keep him in my like consciousness as a priority.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of times, especially when he was younger, it would be like a late flight in, early flight out in the morning.
Yeah.
I think I brought him to your guys' wedding reception. He was there.
Yeah.
So so whenever I can bring him, he can come.
Okay, so he travels here and there with you?
Yeah, he travels whenever he can. You know,
That's cool.
Now
It's a
he's
good
in
experience.
school, so now he's in school, so let's whenever see what happens with that. You know, the school systems are strict. Like if I take him out of school for like 2-3 days, you get a truancy notice. Like, yo, where's your kid at?
Yeah,
we ain't getting paid for him.
Okay. No, I get it, man.
Yeah.
You know, to wrap it up, man, like, what's the future look like for DJ Slamz?
I mean, I'm not always one of those guys that want to grow and get like freaking like I want to grow, but I'm okay with like a content, slow growth.
Yeah.
You know, be in the space I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Compared to where I was like 6-7 years ago.
Sure.
I want to get into music production. I've produced a few tracks, but I want to get deeper in that.
Okay.
But between being dad and DJing, it takes a. Then my DJ is mostly travel. It's not like I'm local. I could sit home and just go out in the evenings and music traveling. So it takes up a lot of my time. But I just want to, up in the music production game. And like I said, I'm not in a rat race with anybody for that. If it take me 3 more years, it could take me 3 months to get going in that. I mean,
sure.
I don't know, and I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
And it just, like I said, I'm not trying to be the next, rich dissy uncle, do 5 different things, 6 different things.
Yeah.
I'm just okay in my one lane and then just...
That's important, man. I can respect that a lot, man. And I think a lot of the...
Not perfect, but I'm content.
Yeah, I think a lot of the listeners can appreciate that, right? You got your focus. You know what you want. You know what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're not sidetracked by the next, the squirrel coming out or the gold nugget on the side. Like, I'm going to go do this and add this to it. I want to get in the
podcast space too, like you.
Yeah. No, man. Yeah, so...
thank you for inspiring me again. Yeah. I might get it actually going now because I came on this pod.
Yeah. No,
I really like this.
I want to listen to your podcast, bro. So when you get that up and running, bro, we'll be definitely listening into it.
Good luck to you too, man. I wish you're doing good things. Keep it up, man.
I appreciate that, man.
You got a good team behind you too. If that's you
man.
Can't ask for a better partner. Just like me, I got my best friend. You got your best friend.
Yeah, she's my foundation. She's my foundation, bro. You know, they say the house is built on the foundation, right?
There you go, man.
So that's my solid foundation right there. Any last things you want to say or touch on or share with anybody?
Nah, man, just do you. Don't worry about clicks, likes, views, comments, and all that kind of stuff. Just do you, and everything else. Work hard. Everything else will fall in place. And yeah, that's it, man.
Awesome,
Peace.
man. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you, bro.
No worries, man.
Yeah, man. So we'll wrap it up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of the Mr. Real Estate Show with the one, the only, the hottest DJ in the game, DJ Slamz.
Hey,
I was trying to do a little DJ thing there. Oh, man, that was cool, bro.
Yeah.